Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Love Sleepers Lost, and today we're going to finish up Act 2, Scene 1, which is something I had forgotten to mention before. Lots of versions of this play split up the acts and scenes into things that make sense. The folio really doesn't. The folio really just has acts. So Act 2, Scene 1 is really just Act 2. So as we move along with this one, it might get a little muddy in terms of this is Act 3, Scene 1 versus this is Act 5, Scene 2, whatever, because some versions split out scenes, but the folio doesn't. Anyway, so Act 2, we're going to finish up with Act 2 today. And we get to hear from Boyet yet again, who, if you remember, is there with the Princess of France, who has come to Navarre because she wants to ask for Aquitaine back, but the King of Navarre was like, actually, we lent your dad 200,000 crowns. He says he gave us 100,000 crowns back, which he never did, and now not only does he want us to give Aquitaine back to him, which I've been holding on to, waiting for the other 100,000 crowns to come to me, but he also wants us to return 100,000 crowns to him. So technically then he will have 300,000 crowns and Aquitaine, and I'll have nothing. Not the money that was lent by my father, not Aquitaine, not anything. And the Princess of France is like, oh, no, we paid that back. And Boyet is going to produce a receipt for that tomorrow, but he didn't have it handy today. So the ladies are going to be camping out in the field because they're not allowed in the court because of the vows that the boys have taken while they are studying, and so on and so forth. So that's sort of where we ended yesterday, is the king is like, all right, this is all settled. We'll see the receipt tomorrow. Come on, guys, let's go study. But on their way out, each of the guys, and I'm sorry, this is all very heteronormative language, but that's just how this play goes. Each of the men, Baron Dumaine and Longueville, stops by Boyet just really quickly to be like, hey, what's her name? For the appropriate lady who says that who previously had said that she had known him when all of the ladies were chatting together, when the princess was like, so who are these guys that are studying with Navarre? So at this point, if we haven't figured out that they're all going to couple up at some point, then you're sort of missing the point of all of this. So each of the guys finds out who each of the ladies is, each of the ladies knows who each of the guys is, and then once all of this is said and done, Boyet sort of starts needling the princess along the lines of, yeah, Navarre really just wants to see you again. And she's like, no, and he's like, yeah, he's got a thing for you. And she's like, what are you basing this observation on? And Boyet says, why, all his behaviors do make their retire to the court of his eye, peeping thorough desire. His heart, like an agate with your print impressed, proud with his form, in his eye pride expressed. His tongue, all impatient to speak and not see, did stumble with haste in his eyesight to be. All senses to that sense did make their repair, to feel only looking on the fairest of fair. Methought all his senses were locked in his eye, as jewels and crystal for some prince to buy, who, tendering their own worth from whence they were glassed, did point out to buy them along as you passed. His face's own margent did coat such amazes, that all eyes saw his eyes enchanted with gazes. I'll give you Aquitaine and all that is his, and you give him, for my sake, but one loving kiss. So Boyet is saying that basically the king was just being all moony-eyed the whole time that they were talking, that anything and everything that he did just poured out of his eyes with loving gazes. All of the words that he said turned into loving gazes. All of the sounds that he heard were turned into loving gazes in the general direction of the princess. And then he kind of bets her at the end. He's like, yeah, I bet you everything that he has that he's in love with you, and all you have to do is just give him one little kiss and you'll have all of it. And she's like, yeah. But all the other ladies are in love, and they kind of want to go along and have fun, and everybody's just feeling sort of merry, so they decide that they will go back to their tent where they are living for right now, and that is the end of Act 2. So Huzzah! And I will see you tomorrow for Act 3 as we start to get into that, and we'll get to spend a little more time with some of the secondary characters, being Armado and Costard and Moth and all of them. So we'll figure out what they're up to while these 4 crazy couples are all busy falling in love and not wanting to admit it. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.